Today's guest is the unstoppable Emad Aldajani, who is a clarity coach and started his entrepreneurial journey at the age of 17. I started at 19. He was even younger. And after overcoming numerous setbacks, he reached a breakthrough at 33 that he will share with you today. So, Emad, welcome to Reach Millions TV.
Hello, thank you for having me as a guest.
You're welcome. So let me start by asking you this. So my mission is to help entrepreneurs live their legacy life, which is about aligning your divine message with your purpose-driven goals so you can reach millions and service and deliver from your overflow. So tell me a bit about your background and what is your mission in your business?
Okay, so my background is in social science, and I decided to start my entrepreneurial journey before I majored in social science. It was in the beginning when I felt it's pointless life. I felt that sense of emptiness. So when I went to college, I went to social science to figure out the answer for my questions.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started my coaching business as emotional balance coach. What I found is that sometimes I have to address other issues than emotions. I have to address money, relationships, mindset, and that's where my entrepreneurial journey really started. And then later on, when I made when my understanding was completed, when I started to address the journey as a holistic journey, I became clarity coach for overwhelmed and confused startups entrepreneurs.
I love that. We always talk about too that we're dealing, of course, with a holistic being. So therefore, addressing the business in that sense is key as well. So talk about some of the things you would do with one of your clients.
So the first thing I'll do with my clients, I have to know where they are standing. Definitely, this is rule number one. Where are you standing? And then I'll have two main things, and they are really required. Number one, if you are in work, don't leave your work. Don't leave your job until your business becomes sustainable. And number two, learn to sell as soon as possible. I will start there, and then we will take it. I'll take it from there.
Very cool. So do you often work with somebody that might be in a job already but wants to become an entrepreneur?
Yes, I work with people who are transitioning from a professional job to becoming entrepreneurs.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, let's say, or maybe give an example. Why don't you give us an example of somebody you've worked with and how, what that transition looked like for them and where they ended?
Yeah, so I do have an experience with one of my clients. Let's call her Sarah. So she was in a job. She was working a therapist in a job, and she wanted to transition to become an entrepreneur. And she was struggling financially. And then when I investigated the subject, what I found is that she was thinking that she's starting a business, but the money was wasted. So I started to restructure everything where you keep the job, and then we arranged the finance, and then we started to make the transition, how to start your business, number one. And number two, what does it look like to have a business? And what's the difference between having a service and having a business? And that's where this is the first thing we did. Once that was clear and complete, we moved to a skill set and mindset. And the last thing, once the person becomes ready, they have their mindset, they have their skill set, I'll teach them how to make your success sustainable. Because success is not as hard as sustaining the success.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we completed our program or our journey together. So I take the person from professional job to starting their entrepreneurial journey, and then how to make the success sustainable.
Awesome. Okay, good. So I might be a transition for them. So once you get them to a place, what happens to them after?
What happened? The decision is theirs. So let me give you an example. So with her, for example, she decided to keep the job, but also having the business as therapy. So some people will decide I'll have just another income. Some people want to grow their business. Some people want even to scale it. So the decision becomes theirs. My job, my responsibility is to show them the journey and how does it looks like and what are the resources they need and how to use their resources. And yeah, that's where we ended when
Awesome.
they become crystal clear about their journey. I want to be entrepreneur, or I want to be, let's say, I want to build an empire.
Right. Well, this is great. I probably am a great then next referral for them. So we take them once they've established that, yes, I want to be an entrepreneur, and you've helped them develop what they want to do, what their focus is going to be. Then we take them and help them become by packaging, pricing, and promoting how to become a 6 and then ultimately 7-figure business. So I love the handoff here.
That's a great. We, as a matter of fact, if that's your focus, I'd like to have your contact, because
Yes.
that will be a great referral, because it's not my focus and
Well,
not my need.
yes. And I was like, wait, what happens now? I'm ready to be an entrepreneur. And so it's beautiful because, yeah, and part and parcel of what makes this such a great union is we have people that aren't ready for me, right? And I would say, hey, you really need to go and be with Emad, and he's going to help transition you to next step. And then you'll be ready to kind of take your business and put in systems and structure and packages and pricing and things of that nature. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Okay, good. So you talk about you started at 17 and you've had some setbacks, which of course, as entrepreneurs, we have all probably got an entire war chest that we're lugging with us. Talk about some
Yes.
of these obstacles you had to overcome. Where did your journey begin?
My journey began with the sense of pointless life. That's the word where I was in high school at the time, and I was watching people around. Like, I know what's coming. You go to high school, go to college, graduate, get married, have a job, and then have a family. And I said, okay, I know this life, and that's pointless. So what's the point of putting any effort? Um, if that's the journey, at least I want it to be my choice, my decision. So that's where really my journey started. And then when I focused on emotions, my clients pushed it further, where what I knew wasn't enough for them as well. And that's where things start to really change, to address things holistically. The second major and probably the biggest setback, it was a breakdown where I was in the university. I was in school, but then I was overwhelmed. I was stressed. I couldn't handle it well at the time. And then I said, okay, wait a second. Something is not accurate here. Something is wrong. And that's where I found that it's not just emotions. There's more to that. That's where the holistic approach really started to develop, to include relationships, to include money and finance, and to include mindset.
Very cool. I love that. And so generally, what does it look like? Like, where do you find your clients? How do they find you? What have you been doing for that process?
Okay, so my clients mainly find me through word of mouth. That's a huge for me, and also through my website, emadaldajani.com. And as a matter of fact, since we are talking about my website, let me offer your client here a free session. There is no sales, but I'd love to offer a free session to help you understand where you are standing and what are your values and the priorities, because our decisions are based on our values. So I'd love to have that session, and it's completely free.
Awesome. And they just go to your site to tap into that?
Definitely.
Awesome. So any last words, tips, advice? What would you say to somebody who's at a transition point? Maybe they're leaving high school, maybe they're leaving university, maybe they're looking at leaving a job, and they don't know what that next logical step is for them. What's the advice you'd have?
I'll use my signature 2 words.
Mhm.
Number one, understand the journey before you start. And not leaving the job, a huge part of it. And number two is learn to sell as soon as possible.
Okay, those are the ones you opened with. Yeah, I love it that we've gone full circle and they're so emphatic. This is what we got to do. So keep yourself financially secure while you determine if this is a right choice for you. Because a lot of times, being an entrepreneur can look very exotic, right? It's
Right.
like, "Ooh, doesn't that look great? Look at that. They seem to be away. They seem to have their own freedom." And a lot of times they don't see oh, well, you work from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. Whereas at your job, you work from 9 till 5 and you're done and you get your 4 weeks vacation, yeah.
Correct.
So yeah, there's a really good, I love the idea of, if someone's thinking about it, stepping into it like with a toe, just to see, because I think they will discover, oh man, that's not what I thought it was going to be. Or heck yes, I should have done this ages ago. And then putting the true procedures in place to actually build a business. I love it.
Yes, you are 100% correct. And it happens a lot. Once they see the journey, some of them, they change their mind.
Yeah, and I could honestly see that, because being an entrepreneur is not for the faint at heart, right? It's
Yes.
you really have to be strong. You want to be constantly able to adapt rapidly to change. We're always experiencing roller coasters of income, whereas of course when you got a job, that paycheck's always there.
Yes, 100% correct.
Yes. Well, it has been a joy, Emad, having you here with me today. And again, thank you so much for joining me here on Reach Millions TV.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.